G'day lovely people, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard. There'll be the two existing bikes that are drawing some interest, and I have a confession to make. Yeah, I think there's something seriously wrong with this XVS 650 because I left it alone and the back fell off. Yeah, not quite. Before people start trying to burn me at the stake as a heretic, oh, don't bother it. The back just bolts on and off. It's not a permanent thing, it is literally a bolt on, bolt off. I took it off because I'm really tempted to bobber it, I don't know, but actually I took it off predominantly to clean it. Now, the bits that might force me to bobber it is whether or not I can actually get the metals on here back to any decent standard. So I whipped them off because it's easier to put on a wheel and stuff when it's all on. What I did do last night, I got rid of that tank protector. It looked awful and I really wanted to check what the state of everything else was. I also went over, as I said on the last upload, I had a go at polishing, plastic polishing, and they've come up pretty good. So I got a bit carried away, did the back bit as well, did the battery cover as well. I've just chucked that back on more than anything else because cleaned / polished off parts lying around the garage get broken. I've also had a go at the top as well, at the instrument panel, and it's come up pretty good. Now, you know, it's just tagged on at the moment because the speedo cable goes straight back, and I think the only way I can get in there, because my hands won't fit through the tiny hole underneath, is to attach the speedo cable, then attach this on, then job's a fish. Yeah, so what am I going to do today? Well, what I do want to do is clean out the back. Now, this has probably never ever seen the light of day, so I need to give that a good scrub. Give that a good scrub in case I do end up going down the bobber route, because a lot of that's going to be visible. Yeah, so give that a clean out. I want to see, I had a quick go with my mother's metal polish and a angle grinder on the rear exhaust, and actually it's come up pretty good, so I'm feeling quite, it gave me the warm and fuzzies, I suppose, when it came to some of the metal pieces. I can't use that solution on the plastics because it's just going to burn it off. It generates too much heat. It will burn off the chroming. On metal it's fine, on metal it's brill. Yeah, so what am I going to do? Overall, I'm kind of at a little bit of stalemate until the key arrives. I did try bridging the starter. I did get the starter motor running. I did get the pistons running, etc, etc. There is no great shakes within that. I don't think when you bridge the starter motor, though, it engages the spark circuit. So, you know, I'm not going to get a start because I haven't got a spark. I'm not entirely convinced of that, but it would logically make sense to me that it's the starter circuit, not the ignition circuit. Yeah, I'm not overly fussed at the moment, but, you know, I get noise and I get compression, which is a good thing. What I may do today while I'm waiting on stuff is really pile up my bits that I need to clean. So I think I'm going to take the mudguard off as well, just to give that a once over, because it's, you know, it's fairly grotty, even if that ends up getting some paint on the arch. So I'm going to whip that off and have a bit more of a clean up. It's going to be a slow upload, people. I do apologise, but I'm holding myself back from pissing around with the ignition, trying to get it started proper, and it's really hard because I'm desperate to do it, but we shall see. Right, cool. Slight change of plan. I can't get that indicator off for the moment, but it's just, I really just want to see what I can get. So I have no idea what compounds are what, but brown seems to work for everything. Right, well that seems to be cleaning up really quite nicely. I need to sort my space out. I do not like using this machine with quite so much caggage around it. It's a matter of time before something gets caught. But as a bit of a proving exercise as much as anything else, I think certainly the metal parts of that rear section seem salvageable, so kind of a before and after. Right, I feel good about that. There we have some mucky, crappy, fairly shagged paintwork. Panel piece for the tail. Let's see what we can... In fact, I normally do this stuff off camera. I've jumped you through what I do. So first things first, sneak it into the kitchen, give it a good douche. Wash down, so just warm washing up liquid. Leave that out in the sun to dry. I'm going to nip up the shop for some milk. Right, that's you set up at a slightly strange angle, kind of looking over my shoulder, at my lap. Things you need for this: cup of tea, ideally in a Sepscot mug, because that proves it's mine. Drill with the old Velcro pad thing, a selection of mops. Depending on how much you do this, it's worthwhile just finding a system. So I use my orange ones for cutting. I then go black, then blue. So black is my colour enhancer stuff. It's my polish, if you like, and then blue I use for my final top coat and my wax. So these are dried out, and you can see it's all a bit shitty. I'm just going to blow the dust off now. As far as cutting compounds concerned, I've moved away slightly from Halford's cheapest and finest towards Maguire's stuff. Now I found Maguire's stuff is fine, but it's got a lot of cut to it, so I think because of the general condition of these, I'm going to do both. So I'm going to do Halford's first if I've got enough left, because I'm really short. Might just be enough in there. Yeah, do Halford's first as the first rough cut for whatever I can squeeze out the tube. It is pretty much literally squeezing out the tube by this point. Balance precariously on my knee, which is how I do most of my work. Should we skip that idea of using Halfords? It does appear that I'm completely out. There's enough in there to give it a quick rough waz. Right, where's my water? It's always best to do this with a damp sponge, not wet, just damp. Spreads it better. Start quite slow, otherwise it just throws it everywhere. Right, that'll do. Let's give that a bit of a rub away. Right, and as ever, everything always looks worse before it looks better. But that will do for now. Let's move on to the... I must remember to get more rubbing compound. I do like that helpful stuff. Right, this is the Maguire's. It's a lot runnier, a lot less gritty. It does actually say only use on shiny surfaces. But, right. Right, there we go. That's the Maguire's on. Get it dried off and rubbed away. Right. That's not looking too bad. Right. Now I'm going to give this stuff another go. I've never had any joy with it. I'm yet to find any scratches that scratch remover will actually remove. But we shall see. But it is black coloured, so let's go over those bits where it's still a bit shitty. See if we get anywhere. Oh fuck. I knocked my fucking tea over. Oh. My cups survived. That's the reason I'm not allowed posh cups outside. Right, let's just rub this off. It's not looking too bad. Right, now you may be asking yourselves, or your screen, or the comments box at the bottom, why are you putting so much effort onto a bit that you're not going to use? The simple answer to that is I think I am going to use it. I think I've been talked round / convinced / and a lot of the reason why the community based around this channel, in this case, is so brilliant, because the number of people that have said, oh, don't, not those who are saying, oh, don't bother it, it's saying actually, why not leave that for the next owner if they want to do that. Now my intention was to bobber it and have it reversible. I have everything bolt on, but I think I've convinced myself, fucking moron, not concentrating, fuck that up. I think, put the wrong stuff on. I've shagged one of my pads now. I'm getting all mixed up. Wrong stuff, dickhead. Maguire's time. Great. Yeah, so assuming I can get this to a decent standard, it is going back on. Maybe not today. Well, wrong. Definitely not today. Alright, that's the Maguire's. Now, if this was fresh paint, new paint that I just put on, I would do that twice, minimum. I have no basis in science at all, but in my limited experience, I think fresh paint is thirsty. It just sucks it all up. Could be talking out my hoop, but it always seems that way to me. But this, I will just do the one. Now, if you've got existing paintwork, I mean, I say every single bike. Every single bike was loved once when it was brand new, and somebody would have polished the absolute fucking bejesus out of it, I'm sure. So when you're polishing an old bike, there is a lot of old polish stuck on top of it. Under it. Right, so final stage. Mop off. Glue on. It's my wife talking to the dog. If you're wondering why she sounds affectionate. Right. So, sorry, I should have shown you this stuff. So, carrying on the Maguires, I'm not paid to advertise, but I do thoroughly endorse their stuff. It's brilliant. Maguire's Tech Wax 2.0. Tech Wax Paste 2.0. Brilliant stuff. Really, really good for a final shine. Alright, let's give this last one a quick buff. I don't have an electric buffer thingy. I do, but it's for a car and it's just too much for bikes. I might get one. Might go on the birthday list. You can just see the depth of shine that this stuff builds up. It's brilliant. Don't get me wrong, a bit of kit's not perfect. It's a 20-year-old bike, but, and I have absolutely fucking no intention of painting this, he says. What it looked like before. And there's the after, which I can't see because the sun's too bright, but I'm never going to complain about bright sun. So much better, not perfect, but so much better. Right, that's the paintwork just tapped away. Let's look at another way of polishing, and particularly if you don't have a wheel, this is useful. I think. Please tell me otherwise. And particularly for Ryan at Ryan's garage, who was trying to do essentially mop polishing like that on a drill with a mop head that was just too loose. And not getting much joy. This is a really quick, simple way of doing it with bugger all equipment. This is Mother's mag and aluminium polish. It is just literally painting it on. That's what you're trying to do, really. Is get it on rather than get it doing its stuff. It is amazing polish. If I was just to move my finger through that, you know, it's better than Auto Sol. It's just not as widely available. Easy off the internet though. Angle grinder and these foam pads. Who was using them? I think it was Charlie that was using them. If you can use them on a drill, but it needs to be speed. It needs to be the speed of an angle grinder that does it, because it's the heat that really does the work. But see what a quick process it is. I mean, that's 5 minutes, if that, and does almost as good a job as the bench job he does with a bit of equipment that you've probably got anyway. Right, I'm going to crack on with this and see how much of this I can get done before we need to take the dog for a wander. Right, that's probably about as good as I really want to or need to get it. Now, chrome or anything polished will fade almost instantly. So one of the best things to use is something like this. So Belgom Alu, which effectively a good polish in itself. Yes, please. I knocked my last one over. Yes, please. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. As I was saying, it's good polish in its own right, but it also puts like a waxy layer over the top, and it will make your shine last longer. So get that on. Actually, I must remember to put some on the bits that I did with Auto Sol last night. Right, don't get this. It's nasty stuff. It's got horrible consistency, like sperm in a bath. Right, and I think we're about there on this. Just got to do it for all the other bits. It's one thing not to like about cruisers, is polishing the fuckers all the time. Right, so I can't see what you can see, and it's a bit better. So that's, 10 minutes or so, and it's pretty good, and it's well protected, and it will last as well as you can hope anyway. Right, I've kind of got a stack of all that crap to do throughout the week, so I think I'm going to knock it on the head here because it's such a beautiful day. Take the dog out for a walk in the sun. But on the subject of chrome, I've had a quick blast at the wheel, so let's find about the normal area. So it's got pitted rust, so by the shape of it there is a an indentation towards the spokes, and it's got a bit rusted in there, but a little bit of the same technique with the older pad. It's not perfect, I'm not going to get rid of that rust with it, but it is considerably better, and with some Belgom over the top it should stop it getting any worse. Obviously, if you're doing around the wheels, you just need to be careful because you don't want to be burning into the rubber with the pad, because you will trash your tyre. So, yeah, a bit of caution. Right, it's too nice a day. Got to get out and do something. Next update from this should be, if Jeff does what Jeff said, should be trying some power on it. That's going to be a good look forward, and we'll see if it runs, because at the moment I'm just kind of fucking around. Cheers all, I'll catch you later on. Ta-da.